Welcome, everybody. Fins and Foul, Big Slim, Avid, Lori, 351, Brian B. We had Angel was in here, Raleigh, Richard. I know he had to work. He's got to get up early in the morning. He already jumped out. And appreciate you all coming in here. 6 people already in the house. Appreciate it. Josh just made it home, so here he is coming in right now.
Hey. Let's see if we can get that figured out here.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Give me just a minute. Let me try to grab a pen. Having trouble hearing. Give me just a second.
I'm saying, guys, we're having some audio issues. Make sure it's not mine.
All right, can you hear me now? Still not. All right, let me see.
Oh, gosh. I think it's my side.
There we go. I can hear you now.
Bear with me. Just getting some, yeah, but I'm not getting any feedback. Problem.
What's up?
Yeah, Josh, we're having issues on my side, so hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. Now we got it.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, I thought my phone was messing up there for a second, so.
No, I don't know what it is, but my audio, for some reason, the last couple of weeks has just been like crap.
I know how that goes. Well, I couldn't.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's crap. Still doing it. I don't know if it's a short in my system or what. There you go. Okay, now we got it. All right, welcome guys to another episode 16 of What's in Your Tackle. I am Kelly, the Bullock Experience, and today's guest is the weekend angler, Josh.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Kelly, thanks for having me on here, buddy. I appreciate it, definitely.
No problem, man. No problem. Say hi to a few people in the house. I know I've already hollered at a few of them that was in here. We got Fishing Magnus has jumped in. We got Ace. We've got 3+1 Larry is in here. Big Mike. J-Dog's Gone Fishing is in the house. And I think I am picked back up. Yep, I've got everybody. So, yeah, Lori's in the house. I then got her earlier. But kind of set up a new little setup here in the old studio with the little black lights and stuff, and we got the stickers going up. So if anybody wants to send stickers, we've got Bigfoot. We've got DMV, Larry with 3+1, all them, Dan from Green Machines. So if anybody wants to send me stickers, address is in the About page. And you can send me stickers, and I'll stick them up on the Monster NASCAR hood.
Hey, there we go. I'll have to make sure there's one of mine on there for too long, so I'll get you one sent out tomorrow.
There you go. Speaking of stickers,
hey, I like
stickers
that.
are in. So they are available. Just email me, and we'll get you set up on those. So Mike Turner's in the house. All right. I noticed you are out in the boat today. So let us know what kind of boat you're riding in.
This is older. It's a 1980 Champion 21 foot, and I grew up fishing with my grandpa in this boat. I was probably about 5 or 6 years old, so about my daughter's age whenever he got this boat, and it set dry there towards the end, and when he couldn't use it and when he passed away, I brought it back to mothballs and got her back out on the water. And so, boats come and go, but this will stay with me forever, or as long as I keep it. So definitely.
The thing is, it's memories. It's been part of the family, so it'd be very, very hard to let it go.
Oh yeah. There's probably enough of my blood in the carpets that it's probably my closest kin. So
there you go.
But no, so it's gone through some definitely gone through some upgrades over the years. He would upgrade stuff as he went, and then of course when it set dry from the late 90s until about 2007 or 8. So technology really turned over in those 10 years. I'm not running anything too fancy, but running side scan and whatnot on there. Stuff that neither one of us had ever thought about back when we were fishing together. So.
Oh yeah.
I said back then, I told somebody the other day, I said back then, your fish finder and GPS and everything, it all came in one bundle. It was called Grandpa, and he was more accurate than whatever's on the market today. He could find fish and know right where you were at better than these next would, but.
But it's they know their waters. That's the thing. They know their waters better than most people do.
Somewhere, and I'd have to dig them out and find them. Somewhere is this little set, looks like binoculars, had a compass built into it, had a little bitty tiny hole in there, and it was for marking. It was for finding visual landmarks, I guess. If you were going to try to remember where a spot was.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, even if I found them, I probably couldn't use them. But now I remember him watching him do that, and that's how he'd find a ledge and everything else, and find a tree stump that he'd marked and knew right where it was at. So.
Oh yeah.
They were definitely better than any of us ever will be as far as that goes. But.
You talk about that, and I've heard people talk about it before. They almost use. I've heard people talk about they use a string, almost like a rope with like a pointed weight, and they would have like 50 foot of rope tied to it, and they would drop it down in the water straight down. And if they went over a ledge, they watched that string bend back or something, and that's how to tell if it were on a ledge. I'm trying going.
I've got one sitting back there that he built. It's a piece of sheet metal. It's a sheet metal circle, and it was divided into 4 segments, and two of them were painted black, and 2 of them were left raw and kind of shined up. And he could lower that thing down, and he went as far as till you lost sight of it, and then measure up. But there was some kind of chart that said, okay, if it's X number of feet, this is the was basically measuring water clarity. And, there was some chart about what color lures to use, and I mean, all those little things that just have fallen by the wayside as we've given everything.
And those are what we consider tools for our tackle.
I don't know if that was me or you there.
Yeah, and see, that's what we call. We call them, like I was saying, we call those tools, but we also call them tackle. I mean, because that's things that we used back then. Can you hear me?
I'm getting a robot voice is what I'm getting. Give me a second.
What about now?
It still sounds like a robot. So I'm not sure what we got going on.
It's probably me.
Hear it here.
Oh, a second. Let me.
Oh, there it goes. It's back now.
Is it better?
That's much better now.
All right. Yeah, I had to lower my volume a lot lower, but I can still hear you pretty good. What's going on, Patty Little? And we've got Sunfish Assassin came in. Few people that are part of the little community that I'm with. There's Liz from UK. It's getting close to midnight over there for her, so.
Oh man!
I know here soon she'll be going to bed.
That'd be late for me anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's Murillo. Appreciate you coming in here, Michael Murillo. Because I knew Kelly was an alien. Oh, you're talking about my background. All the little lights. Yep. My little space shuttle. But I know we were talking right before the show, but kind of give us an idea of what kind of little deal you came into.
Oh yeah, guys, I was telling Kelly here right before we got started that I kind of walked into the deal of a century just about 20 minutes before the show. I had stopped into our local Gander Outdoors, and they are doing, I don't know if it's a nationwide thing or not, but ours is doing a sale that's 50% off any fishing equipment and 60% off of anything on clearance. And so I had actually gone in there to buy two specific things that weren't even on sale. And as I'm wandering through there, I come across a Simrad Go 7 XSE. It's basically, if y'all are familiar with the Lowrance HDS 7 with side scan, all that stuff in it, it's the same unit. Lowrance, to the best of my knowledge, it's Lowrance that owns Simrad. It could be Garmin. It's one of those two that own them. But touch screen, 7-inch display, side down sonar, everything. And they had this thing clearanced out for like $579. So I took it up the register, kind of expected it to be that, and they knocked 60% off of it. So it ended up going down to like $215 for a brand new unit in the box with all that stuff. So that's one of those. I'll never come across something like that again. So I had to jump on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But let's start getting into, that's part of the tackle stuff, but let's start getting into, I see some what we call T-bars right behind you.
Yeah, that's
let's talk about your setup there.
Yeah, let me grab the phone here real quick, and I will get right to turn this around. Let's see, camera. All right, there we go. Excuse my messy garage and driveway, but these are the multi-bars. Jump out of the boat here. That's the multi-bars that Colton Howell makes. I had him make me a set of those last fall after I fished with Terry Rogers. Was the first person I'd actually got a chance to use these bars with. And these things are they're awesome. They're fully adjustable. You can loosen that bolt, rotate the whole T-bar whichever direction you want. You loosen that one and the set screw, and it's done up on both sides. And you can raise and lower this bar. Do the same thing up here for the top part. Turn the top, so it is fully adjustable. That's a good idea, Mike. But got that with the OG monster rod holders here, the old black with the red tips. Got the these right here. These are my new favorites that Steve is putting out. He brought these out, I think it was last year. These are the Talon 535s. And so they will hold a rod at 5 degrees. Let me grab a short rod. And I don't have one. So we'll grab a slime cat rod and pretend. But that first position on that one holds at 35 degrees. It's perfect for dragging and anchoring. Drop it down, and you're 5 degrees, which I absolutely love for suspend drifting. And it's a whole lot easier to get a rod that's doubled over out of this when you just lift it out, as opposed to going over to, let's move this little thing. As opposed to the 033, I don't ever like having to reach out in front of the boat. Nothing wrong with these rod holders. These things are still, the 033s are excellent, but old Steve, he knocked it out of the park with these 535s. I absolutely love those things.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I tripping over stuff. Also got the, that's the 3345s on there. So those will take it and hold it at that top position. There's 45 degrees. That's real good when you're anchoring from far way away. Drop it down a little bit. I've got 4 more Talons. We've got 2 on each side here. One right there back behind the multi-bar. And we work our way up. Got one all the way up here at the front of the rail. That's mounted on those 1-inch tube mounts. We'll continue on around here. We've got the old power drive 70-pound 24-volt trolling motor with the co-pilot. Wish it was iPilot, but it's not. That's still a wireless remote control. This used to be at the helm. It's way up front. It's a Helix 7 second generation side imaging fish finder, but it got replaced last year. They had that little puppy on sale at Academy. Had it marked down at about $700. I was able to pick it up for a decent price, and that bracket there, that holds a Helix 5, but that Helix 5 is on my buddy's boat right now because his went out. So I'm letting him borrow mine.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, he's good to me, so I try to be nice to him, But he liked family.
Going on, Chris at Hooks and Hammocks, Kevin with Palmetto, and Uncle Lou's in the house.
Hey, Uncle Lou. I need to talk to him. I've been seeing everybody posting pictures of those new Uncle Lou's rods, and I'm gonna have to get a hold of him. I got to get me one. Those things just look too awesome to not have one here in the house. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we start moving over towards tackle. I've got the storage box behind the driver's seat. Here is where I usually keep all my tackle boxes and anything else that happens to fit at the time. But let's see, we'll get that drift stock out of the way. That got thrown in there the other day.
Well, what size drift stock do you have for your boat?
Well, I've got a few different ones. This one is This one's a 24. I use that 90% of the time if I'm anchored. I'll anchor up in the front, toss this little 24-inch drift sock out, and it gives me just enough resistance to keep the boat straight on anchor. It keeps it pulling real hard against the anchor rope, and kind of if you just anchored in with one anchor in the front, no matter how close to center you are, your boat has a tendency at the back to sway back and forth. And this just drops this off the corner of the boat, gives it one more point, and it really helps you when you're anchored up. Keep that sway from going on, so you keep your lines nice and tight, see any bites, not have to worry about all that fishtailing going on back there. I've got two other ones that get a little larger. I think I've got a 48, and then I bought a 54 or something like that at one point. That 54 probably overkill. If I had to do over, I wouldn't have bought it. But at the time, I thought it was a good idea. And sometimes in the summer when the Ohio River basically turns into a lake, it doesn't have any current anymore. You could throw that big 54-inch sock out. That'll fill with enough water to keep you pinned up on anchor.
Oh, yeah.
This is that's a Bass Pro Shops brand drift sock. They used to not be too good, and then after Bass Pro bought Cabela's, I think they kept using the Cabela's design and just put their name on it instead, and it's actually a pretty good sock. I haven't torn one of these up yet, and they hold up good. They have. I've got a review video of this exact sock, but it's got, I can't see it, but there's like a steel bar in there, so that'll get it weighted down in the bottom, and the top on the other side has some foam in there, and
that'll float. Yeah, so it keeps the bottom of it down, and the top of it open. Yep. Yeah,
and that keeps your lines for the most part from twisting up, and good little old sock. And those things are very inexpensive. You catch them about the first of the year. The Bass Pro always puts those on sale. You can get those things for $20. It's worth every penny of it. But catfishing rigs. Let's go to sinkers.
Yeah, we'll start with your sinkers. Yep. Tell me what kind of sinkers you use. Now, do you buy yours or you make yours?
I make every sinker that I use. If I didn't, I couldn't afford to fit as many as I lose. But I've gone through so many of these different little plastic boxes trying to hold sinkers. Don't put sinkers in those things. They just break. I went to Home Depot, bought me this little divided tray, and it's beat up, but it hasn't broken yet. We keep everything in here. It's gotten knocked around a bit, but when I'm anchored up, 9 times out of 10, I'll be using this old sinker, and I make those in 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, and 8s. The cannonball sinkers, those are perfect for bumping. I'll pour those anywhere from 1 through 4 ounce, and then I bought the big mold. I bought some that do. I think this one's a 12. Yeah, that's a 12-ounce cannonball there, and I can pour a 16. And it's one of those when you get to where you're having to use a 16, you've got current going on. But here lately, my go-to sinker are these 8-ounce torpedoes, and I put a swivel on them whenever I pour them. And this is one I use when I'm suspend drifting. I've got a suspend drifting rig here already made up. That goes down. Let me see if I can get that up close. There we go.
You're full screen, so everybody's gonna be able to see it.
Oh, okay, cool. You've got the sinker here, goes to the swivel, and then I use this as a 75-pound easy clip down to anywhere from a 12 to a 24-inch leader. Snelled circle hooks, and these are the bonehead shards. These are the hooks that I sell, and these things have my personal best have all come off these. These are some sharp hooks. They hold up pretty good. But what this lets me do is grab a rod real quick.
Hey, Two Old Vets. Hey, Raleigh. Hey, Ernie.
I will actually take when I'm drifting. I'll use these. That's an Okuma Magda line counter reel. I love those for suspend drifting. Kind of gives you an idea how much line you have out. They're not 100% accurate, but they're better than guessing. And now this is a 250-pound easy clip. I'll tie that onto my main line with the with Palomar knot.
Okay.
Then you can just get this up here, put that sinker through there, and you're rigged up. And most of the time, if you're going to break off, it's going to be either down here on your leader line or on that clip, and you'll get all this piece back. So
cool. You'll save your sinker and everything. Yeah.
Save your sinker, and then all you have to do, I keep these little leaders rigged up, and I store those in those yellow rig wrap containers. So if we bust off, all we gotta do is take, and we're back in business just like that. We're back drifting. So I try to keep anywhere from about 6 to a dozen of those tied up at any given moment, especially when we're out there drifting, because if you hang up, that gets you back in the water real quick. You're not drifting over fish that otherwise might hit.
Yeah.
But coin sinkers, I pour those too. Those are the kind, they're more or less a no roll, but they work with the sinker slides, and that's nice if you're trying to figure out how much weight you're needing to hold bottom there. Those little torpedo weights, I pour those smaller down to a 2 ounce. That one's seen some use. I'll use those if I'm fishing under catfishing bobbers. That makes it real easy to rig, especially when it's dark out. Instead of having to rig.
That'd be good sitting underneath the like a Patriot float or something like that, one of those ghost floats.
Absolutely, and, because you can take and put all your hardware above that, and then you just tie your main line on there. You're not having to worry about all the beads and swivels and everything because your swivel's already built onto your sinker. So that helps you get rigged up there. Let's get those out of the way.
Hey, Christina, your wife's in chat.
Oh, she was taking Caitlin to Bible school just a little while ago. Caitlin hopped up in the boat and gave me a hug and said goodbye before she left. So
yeah. Well, my little one's in the chat now. My little girl Skye, she's in there.
Hey, Skye. Now, how old is she? She
will be 9 this month.
Okay, so she's just a little bit older than Caitlin. Caitlin turned 6 back in February, so.
Yeah, she turns 9. Yeah, in a couple weeks, less than a couple weeks.
Oh man, they grow up fast.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely do.
And it doesn't slow down any, is what I'm finding. It just keeps getting faster.
Merle said that Chunky's using those sinkers now. Those type of sinkers.
Those sinkers. You know who actually turned me on to those, especially for bobber fishing, was Chris Flores. He did a video showing how he rigged his bobbers up, and he used a set of those. And after watching that video, I ordered the mold. Like I watched his video. I got on Barlow's tackle, and ordered that mold the same day. And that's the go-to place that I've always found for getting my lead molds is Barlow's. They get stuff to me in a couple of days, and their price is on point. So
there you go.
They've always done good for me, but. Keep all my rigs here. I did a short tip Saturday on this back in the wintertime, I think, but
yeah, I remember.
But I'll rig up everything in one of these rig packs, and one of the best things that I found to do was take and get you some bright duct tape. I used masking tape the first time I did one of these, and it was a nightmare. The tape didn't last, but it left residue all over the rig wraps, and it was a pain in the neck. But I started using this duct tape and a Sharpie marker, and I just label everything that's in there. And it's a Carolina rig, 7/0 hook, 24-inch leader, and I'll go down to hook size and leader length on all these. That way I know exactly what I'm grabbing when I pull it out of here. We'll throw in stuff with rattles and everything else. And that just helps me stay organized. I can tie a bunch of these when I'm sitting at home not doing anything. And then when I'm, if I bust off when I'm fishing, all I got to do is grab one of these. And what I do, if I've used it, I'll put it back in that
flip it around. Yeah.
I'll flip it around, and when I don't see that label, I know that thing's empty. But,
gotcha. Hey, Maurice. Hey, Haslife. Appreciate y'all coming in here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Share this out. We got 21 people in the house.
Awesome. See that thing there? Let's get rid of that way. Hold on a second. There we go. There's one for Kevin's blooper reel.
There you go. Somebody trying to steal the Weekend Angler's vehicle on live TV.
Lean over and lean onto the panic button. That's always good. Made me jump. I'm sure it made everybody else in the chat jump.
Oh, I've done that before too.
But now I keep my peg floats and my loose catfishing gear inside one of those rig wrap pack-alls, and unfortunately that thing is a stinking mess right now. It needs
Chris with hooks and hammocks. Easy, man, easy. Be nice.
What's he doing now?
He's over here saying that he can tell how organized you are by looking at your driveway.
But I told him that driveway's exempt. I don't want to hear nothing out of Chris. Nah, he's my buddy. Yeah. But I keep one of these pack-alls over here, and that'll hold up everything. We drug everything out of it the other day. Peg floats in there. You can buy these little things cheap off of Wish or eBay. That's old Whopper Plopper.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Top water lure. Take the hooks off of them and use them as a demon dragon. If you're in current, that tail sits down there and swims and goes crazy. And sometimes they'll like that. Some other times they don't. I don't know if it really make too much of a difference, but it's something to mess around with. That was something I threw together one day playing around. But keep peg floats.
We were talking. Me and the Beards and Bow guy was talking about top water frogs, and we were talking about redoing the old ones and taking the spinning baits, decorative lines off of it. Putting it on the back of them and putting them on the back of them to make it look like legs.
Oh man, now that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I've got a topwater frog, and I'm gonna try to do that too. And it's just like you made me think about that when you was talking about those topwater whopper poppers doing that, taking the hooks off. I'm like, well, we were thinking like maybe taking and redoing the ones we have and try and make them up them, and make them better.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you can change something just like that, especially when you're giving them something that they haven't ever seen, that definitely makes a difference. Especially on like we've got Power Plant Lake here. It's one of the closest lakes to me, but it is so overfished. There's at any given weekend, there's 2 or 3, 4 tournaments sitting out there on that thing, and they have seen every jig that you can throw. They've seen every crankbait, spinnerbait, whatever you can buy on Bass Pro shelves. They've seen. But if you throw something different at them that they ain't used to seeing, they'll tear your arm off. That's why if I go down to that lake anymore, I finesse fish it. I'll throw a shake.
We were just talking about it, and then a friend of mine showed me a video on a guy using a 3D printed duck lure.
Oh, that'd be cool. I've got a duck lure. I've never tried. They had them on sale at Rural King one day when I was in Savage Gear or somebody. But that thing got soaked today if we're out on the road. Let's see. We'll go in here. I keep on.
We got polar bears in here. The Chad. We got Robert Andrews has jumped in. Welcome, guys. Appreciate y'all coming in.
I keep my loose gear kind of. This thing got flipped over in Mendota, and I ain't had a chance to sit and sort it, or I haven't wanted to sit and sort everything yet. I should say. I've had plenty of chances, but it's not high on the list of what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'll keep all my loose hooks and stuff in there. These hooks here, I have. I tell you, Matt Jones, Cat Matt, turned me onto these things, and he targets flatheads, and he's very good at what he does. And we were talking about hookups on flatheads, and how if they just take it and pull down and don't go anywhere, you're 50-50 reeling down on that circle hook, whether that thing's going to hook him or not.
Yeah.
But he started telling me about these. This Masuko makes these. They are an offset sickle hook, and you snell these things down, and you can rear back and actually set the hook on these things and just drive that thing home. And I've used them. I haven't caught a flathead on one yet, but I've put them through the beak of many a gar, and I've put them through the mouth of a bowfin, and I know that anytime I've set the hook on one of those things, they have taken and stayed hooked. I've got them in the boat, so they not too expensive as far as hooks go, but they work good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else we got? We get in there, get some stuff out. Soft plastics. Hey, there's a crankbait that would have got me. That would have been funny.
Oh yeah.
That'd have been great. Soft plastics, I keep those. This is a little pack from Academy. Open this thing up. It kind of opens up like a binder. I just try to keep everything divided by type, basically. I keep my flukes and swim jig trailers and stuff to the front. Move into my jig trailer by craws, and then start moving into. I'll throw all my culprit worms. That's my go-to plastic worm is a just old twist tail culprit worm. It's what I grew up fishing and what I've got confidence in.
I don't know if you heard of. Have you heard of the mule tail?
No, I'll check those out.
Yeah, and you check them out. They're excellent especially if you're doing finesse. I mean, they're only probably maybe 2 inches long, maybe 2-3 inches long.
Oh wow!
And you just put them on like a little, almost like a little Ned rig.
Ned head or something, because I've bought those.
Yeah, a little Ned head. You put them on a little Ned head, and they're. I mean, you talking about fish loving them.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I've used those. Z-Man makes them, those finesse TRDs or whatever they are.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put those on the Ned head, and man, those things. I thought it was a joke when I first saw those things, and they will catch a fish. And they will catch fish that don't want to bite. Just let that thing sit down there. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I just dead stick those things up around docks and everything. Just let it sink, and then just let it sit there for 30 seconds. And if a fish don't pick it up and swim away with it, there ain't one there really wanting to bite anyway. So I move on.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. Those, especially if those. I mean, if they don't bite it within seconds, they ain't gonna bite nothing you throw at it.
Oh yeah. And we get in here. This is probably outside of catfishing. If I'm bass fishing or anything, we're moving into some of my favorite things to throw, and that's the old lipless crankbait.
Oh yes. Oh, you do lipless.
I love lipless crankbait. Rip those things around grass and rocks and everything. And the trick to them, I throw these things on. I'll put 30-pound braid, and so I could let that thing sink down until it ticks that grass, and I'll just rip it through that grass and have that go up towards the surface of throwing its spit. And a lot of the times, just ripping it out of that grass will get their attention. I've got a bunch of different colors, but I throw basically 2 colors, and that is the chrome with the blue back. That one I think will work anywhere. Everything likes those. And then I don't have one in here because I guess I took it somewhere with me. Maybe there we go. It made its way in another box. And that's something like a chartreuse with a black back on it. And if the water gets a little darker, yeah, here's a spider. The water gets a little dingier, I'll go over that chartreuse. They seem like they pick up on that a little better.
Yeah, that brighter color showing through that murky water it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, you get that clearer water, and you get a good sunny day, and that chrome, just that flicker of that chrome, they'll tear your arm off of that thing.
We got Jesse Lopez in the house, Philip Williams. I think I saw Justin Poncho in the house. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for Mr. Josh with the Weekend Angler. Make sure share it out. Get more people in here. We got 24 people, wonderful people in the house already.
Awesome. Get the digging down through. There's so much stuff needs taken out, gone through. Crankbaits, I try to keep those things divided by their depth range. The 5 and 6 XD Strike Kings are probably my absolute favorite. That one in that chartreuse blackback pattern. A 5 XD and a chartreuse blackback around here is just dynamite. They love it. We've caught anything from bass to big old monster channel cats out of that power plant lake. We'll go target catfish in that power plant lake and can't catch them. We go throw crankbaits in that lake, we'll come up with a catfish every time.
Nah.
But this is the old, I forget who makes this. This is Plano Elite crankbait organizer. And I come up with this thing several years ago. And it kind of, they go down and angle in. I'm going to clear out a.
Yeah, I can tell. Let me put you on full screen.
I'll clear out one of these things so you can kind of see it, try to get it in there. But they go in and kind of scoot down there just a little bit. And it just helps keep these things from going crazy. Those hooks that get down in there, these baits will sit where you can see them a lot easier. And they don't cost, these crankbait organizers, they don't cost a whole heck of a lot more than what a regular old divided tray would, but they hold those crankbaits better. I think it holds more of them. I think that thing says up to 20 large crankbaits, but I'm pretty sure there's more than that in that box.
Oh, I can guarantee there is.
Let's see, that's more big crankbaits because I run out of room. Square bills, they went in they just went in their own little box. That's your Jeep of the crankbait world right there. And my buddy fishes more of these things than I do. He'll throw these where I throw a lipless. But these things, if you get in there, you throw these things up around trees and rocks and everything, just that old squared off lip, when it hits, it'll hit something and then deflect off hard one way or the other. And it's that deflection that'll trigger that strike. And he'll those little square bills like that, you bounce them off a tree and it jumps off going a different direction, and the next thing you know, you've got something hooked up. But I don't throw a whole lot of those. What in the world is the old wolf fly about got me? I don't throw a whole lot of those. I've got them. I have caught fish on them, but probably not as much as my buddy has. He likes those things a lot better than I do.
I get a question from Maurice. He says, "When are you and Chris going to have a rematch on the DIY stuff, DIY rods?"
And do what now? What was the end of it? And fly rods?
Said, "When y'all gonna have a rematch on the DIY rods?"
Oh, DIY rods. I'd like to get that thing back out. And I know Chris still has his too. We both brought ours to CatCon a couple years ago, and I need to talk to Chris about that. He and I actually had another DIY contest that we'd been talking about, and we talked about it back, I think, towards the springtime, and it really didn't gain any traction. So at this point, it might be a wintertime thing, which would probably be better, and then it would come out next spring. but he and I were both talking about building a boat. And we had talked about building our own boat and then taking it out and trying to catch a catfish or something out of it. And I had some ideas for one, and I know it's Chris. He's going to come up with something awesome. So, but as far as I would think
speaking of a DIY boat, I saw somebody had licensed a Tykes tugboat.
Oh wow!
With a trolley motor on it. Had actually got a license. It's all licensed and everything. Got their tags and everything for it.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah,
I've seen pictures where people put those on there. They're like, yeah, this is all I could afford, but I never knew stuff. It doesn't surprise me that somebody took it, had it licensed. It does surprise me, depending on the state that did it. Illinois would throw a fit, but they throw a fit.
Well, the funny thing, it says it's the lake. It says it's Lake Cumberland.
That guy's braver than I am. I wouldn't go out on one thing.
No.
But that is cool. That'd be fun to catch a fish out of that for sure.
Oh yeah. I was thinking, I was like, if you put some rod holders or something on that, it'd be neat to see if you could handle pulling up a monster fish in a Tykes tugboat.
Oh, that'd be great. I think I'd sink the thing. I'd have to find somebody smaller than me.
Yeah. Ozark guys, welcome in. If you haven't just hit the subscribe button, make sure you do that. And hit the thumbs up, share it out.
Well, shooting over there. Yeah, digging through here. We got the old jerk bait box. Sometimes that gets swim baits from it. I will say this right now. Get this thing out of here. Academy Sports house brand lures at H2O Express are pretty, they're not bad lures at all. And they make a sunfish or bluegill swim bait that's jointed. And that little thing looks just like a small bluegill going through the water. That's what I caught that up there that first day we were at Mendota. That's what I caught that bass. It was like 4 something on. And that little thing is awesome.
I've been wanting to get me some of those. Definitely.
Those bluegill ones worth every penny. I think they're under $6 a piece, and they come in all different colors. They're great. Now I bought this thing, same brand, this jointed little shad, and this thing has the swim profile of a rock. Whether you pull this thing fast or slow, doesn't matter. This thing goes through the water just as straight as can be, and so
it has no movement like a real fish. Then
it don't look like anything. They're dragging up.
To me, I would take that one. I would try to take it apart, and I would move the body parts out more.
Oh yeah, that might work. Yeah, give it a little.
I put more of a link in the middle of them and push them out more, because I think that's what would help that one, because I think it's too close for it to move really.
I think it is. I think if they'd have done that in about 3 sections and had them spaced out, because you look how big a gap is on that bluegill.
Yeah.
And then we compare that to the shad. There's a big difference. There's a lot of surface area that this one has that this one doesn't. But
I'm actually thinking about getting into making some of those. A friend of mine's got a 3D printer that I might be able to get a hold of for my own purpose.
Oh man,
I think about 3D printing me some up and making my own.
I've wanted one of those things for a while, but if I brought home another toy, I'm gonna be in trouble. So I think last year, a few years ago, I started pouring lead, and if anybody hasn't started pouring lead yet, don't, because it's addictive. You will start out, you'll get a sinker mold for the sinker that you use the most, and then you'll decide, well, I might use this, so I'll get another mold. And then the next thing you know, you're pouring digs and everything else, and you save money on it, but I don't know. You put you get a bunch of stuff tied up in everything there. These things have had it.
Christina says you're not wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. She knows. I bought an airbrush kit a couple years ago, and bought me some of those blank topwater spooks. I don't want to use a brand name, but just the blank topwater spooks that people use as rattling peg floats, and I airbrushed my own. And the cool thing about that, you probably don't save any money, but you can get stuff that looks exactly how you want it, and kind of go from there. These little football jigs. This is another example of what pouring lead will get you. You'll end up deciding, oh well, I'd like to be able to pour my own jig. So
that's the fringe I was telling you about.
Okay.
Taking that off a spin bait and sticking it inside the back end of a topwater frog.
Oh, now that would work good.
Yeah.
And you could buy you could buy that. You can buy that at
either any of the sports tackle places, stuff like that. You can buy them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've got. You start looking like Barlow's and I think Jan's Netcraft and stuff. They cater more towards lure builders. You can get stuff almost a wholesale price on it if you buy enough of them. But
Jesse Lopez has got me cracking up in the comments. He said, "What's addictive, pouring the lead or the fumes?"
Both.
Ozark guy said he goes, "I'd personally toss the bluegill lure into current and try to get a flatty."
I thought about that too. If I keep that thing off the bottom, figure up with just how much lift I would need to keep that thing off the bottom. I'd love to put that thing out on a rod holder, just let it sit down there and swim somewhere.
I'd put a peg float in front of it.
And that's what I thought. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly how much it would take to keep that off the bottom, but still let it swim down there. And I bet the only thing is, I think a big flathead, I think he would, if you weren't careful, he'd pull it apart. Because I went to make a cast with one of these one time, and was just trying to basically underhand roll because I was trying to get into a real low spot. And somehow I managed to bounce that thing off the screen of the fish finder. And that it went into 3 pieces. One of those went into 3 pieces real quick. But
if I can get a hold of that 3D printer, see, I'll make a bluegill or a shad size piece.
Oh,
like it looks like you're putting out a whole bluegill out there. I'll make that big of a size and put a big old hook on them.
That would be great. That would be
and
awesome.
Try and see if it'll work.
That would be worth a shot. I know my cousin, he used to guide for muskie down in Tennessee, and he moved back home last summer. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of muskie up here. We've got 2 lakes that have them, but they're small. It's not like he had back home. But he has now gotten into. He's basically trolling artificial baits, targeting flatheads with them, and he's actually this weekend he started having some success with that. So I'm anxious to go out and fish with him and see what he's coming up with, because it's every time I think of flathead fishing, it's anchoring up and live bait under a bobber, and you better turn on a movie because you're going to sit and wait till he decides to bite, because he's not.
Adam said maybe 2 peg floats on the line would work to keep it up off the bottom.
That might work. Y'all make me think of this. I'm going to have to try that thing now. So.
Yeah, floating. Ozark said a floating Carolina rig.
Yeah. Yeah, that would keep that up. Yeah, long enough leader, 3 or 4 foot leader.
Yeah.
Drag bottom.
I don't do probably. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Maybe I use them. I use those Eagle Claw steel leaders.
Yeah.
Lines.
Yeah, that would probably. Yeah, that might be worth giving a shot to. Use a dragon weight or something to keep that down. I make these things. It's another one of those pouring lead things. I started making these a year or so ago, and they work pretty good for dragging baits. I don't drag a whole lot because I end up snagged. I've got I'm doing something wrong, and I need to go fish with somebody that knows what they're doing dragging baits. But these little things, they're just your basic old slinky weight, and they'll turn around however you want them. But they hold up. They hold up pretty good. Let's see. We'll get this thing. We'll be at the bottom of this thing here. So there we go.
Hey, Lyle from Catfish Weekly.
Lyle Stokes, how's it going, buddy?
Yep. Avid said that we gave him an idea. He's got a couple of those lures. He may actually try to do that.
I want to see it when it's done.
I do too. If you can come up with that, Avid, and it actually works, I will try my hardest to get that 3D printer and make some hand size bluegills.
Because I tell you what, and I'll say this: when I had this up at Mendota, I ran that little bluegill bait through the water. I was showing it to Lyle. His boat. I was over there by his boat at the time, and I showed him this thing at the top of the water. And I'm telling you, at a glance, you're hard to tell the difference between that and a fish, and a real fish when it's going through the water. So they swim good for $6. And I can't.
My waters, my creeks down here would be perfect for that little thing, especially with the bass and stuff that I have around here. Oh my gosh!
Oh, they will, and there ain't no light biting on those things. When they swallow that, they swallow it.
Yeah,
and they're fun.
Yeah, we got 15, 16-inch smallmouth and largemouth sitting in little bitty tiny creeks around here.
Man, I still want to catch me a smallmouth. I was hoping to get one up at Mendota. That's what I kind of did. Day 2, I messed around in the clear water with some finesse stuff, hoping that I would come up with one, and we didn't get so much of a bite. But.
Well, if y'all want to see some smallmouths, make sure y'all check out Fishmack's last video where me and him went creek fishing.
Oh, I would do that.
Some good little 12 and a half, 13-inch smallmouths.
Oh man, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we were just we were using Texas rigs with a little finesse worm, little bluegill colored finesse worms.
Man,
and we were killing up. They were under structure, so we were having to throw it up underneath all kinds of structures just to pull them out. And I mean, as soon as you throw them in there, it was like the bite was on.
Oh, I see. That'd be great. So I'd love to get a hold of one of those things. They just the people I know.
Ozarks, no, Lyle is not on tonight. It was last night, and he actually had Josh here on last night. Tonight after me would be the Muskrat. Muskrat Adventures.
That's right. Yeah, Rod. Now, what's I haven't got a chance to look. What's forget what Roger's talking about tonight. He's fishing that pool party tournament this weekend. So
yeah, so I know he is heading to the James River, so he actually might be doing a live tonight, or he may not even do nothing tonight. I don't know. I have not seen anything popped up yet.
He did say he was headed down that way. He's all over the places.
Yeah, he should be already fishing down there. I think he was already up fishing already. So.
Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna go try to catch us some. We're gonna go try to catch us some moon eye probably Thursday afternoon when I get out of work, and I'd like to have some fresh moon eye for Saturday. And they were biting the other day when we were down there. We were catching moon eye on night crawlers. That tells me if I went back down there with some crickets, we could probably clean house on them. So,
what side of the Ohio River are you on? Are you on the northern side?
Yeah, I'm on the northern side. I'm just down in Marion, Illinois.
Okay, so you're not that far up off the Ohio River then.
No, we're driving time about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on which part of it I want to go to.
Okay.
Like the other day, we launched out of Metropolis, which is about 35 minutes from us, and but we just tied up behind a barge with a. I'm gonna grab that thing. Actually, I was gonna do a.
I wish he was closer. Avid, yeah. He's on the right side of the Ohio River, yeah.
On the back side of the Ohio River, I'll say that.
Do what?
I said I'm on the high tax side of the Ohio River is what I'm on.
Yeah. Avid said you're on the right side of it. Of the Ohio River.
But yeah, we just we tied up behind a barge. I made these things up a few years ago, and these are starting to get a little been out of shape. We need to update them a little bit. But these things, I built these for when we're fishing under the bridges at Crab Orchard Lake for crappie and stuff. They've got those steel girders run up underneath there, and you can reach them. We just undo that clamp this to the bottom of the girder. This is old Harbor Freight C-clamp. I put a quick link through and some paracord, and we'll tie that off to the cleat. And then we don't have to worry about the boat moving around too much while we're under there. We can focus on fishing. But
that's a neat idea.
These come in handy like when we're the backs of those platforms and those barges and stuff usually have ladders on them.
See, something like that. I don't know if you've been watching Epic's lives lately. He's been posted up against that bridge.
Oh yeah.
See, that's something like that. I would think might help him if he can use it.
Yeah, these things. If you can get up to those girders, they're not, they're normally 3/4 inch, 1 inch thick somewhere in there. But of course, this will open up all the way to 3, and you tighten one of those down, and I'll leave it. You could put a rope on there if you wanted. I always put paracord, and I do that simply for safety reasons. Like when we were tied up behind that barge the other day, if something stupid had happened on that river, I could pull my pocket knife or my bait knife, and I could cut paracord.
Yeah.
And, one quick slice, and that thing's cut loose, so we can get ourselves out of trouble real quick. But if I had a big heavy rope, can't guarantee I could break that loose when I need to.
Hey Becky, welcome in. Can't wait to get those new goldfish lures that you're sending me.
Goldfish lures?
Yes. I'll show you a picture of them real quick if I can. Yeah. Dr. Becky, she made me some lures that look just like a goldfish.
That is cool.
Let me pop it up here. I know it's in here. There it is. Hold it up to the camera and see if you can see them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's what she's sending me. So I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna put a Ned rig on them, and I'm gonna put a hook on them. So yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to get them.
Yeah, those are gonna be dynamite.
Yeah.
That tail looks like it'd just sit there and flutter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
She normally puts those in a little epoxy pond. So I'm just excited to hit the creek with those definitely.
Oh yeah, those are going to be. I'm going to be looking forward to that. I want to see how those do. I think they're going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But digging around, we made it through the old tackle storage bin here in the boat, but I'm still rocking those ugly stick pliers. I know some people were a little bit concerned. I did an unboxing and review of some of this new ugly stick stuff this year, and the price point on these things is, I mean, you're paying $40 for a set of pliers, but I mean you're paying for a set of pliers. These things.
Oh yeah.
That little carbide cutter. I'll try to get up there to it. Let me
put you on full screen, and then you can show that thing off.
There we go. That little carbide cutter there. That thing will cut braid or mono. I mean it. Big mono, little mono, braid, whatever. You just snip and it's cut. We'll get some mono up here. We'll play with it.
Oh yeah. Hey Lyle, congratulations on the 5,000.
Oh, did he hit it?
He hit it. Yeah, he hit it last night sometime.
Awesome. I knew we were at the end of the show last night. I think he was like 10 away, so I knew it was going to be any moment. So, Lyle, congratulations, buddy. It is definitely well deserved.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's put in the work and everything for it. So yeah, he deserves it. Absolutely.
We got a bunch of scales on that. They're my bait knife there. It's got scales on it from the other day. It needs cleaned.
Who cares?
But that stinking thing, when I unboxed this, that thing come out of the box, I run it up my arm and shaved with it. And I don't know that it probably won't do it no more. Nope. but it'll still hack a frozen skipjack to pieces. So
you know what I use? You know what I use as my bait knife?
what's that?
Steak knife out of the kitchen.
Nah, I get in trouble for that.
I pulled one out of the drawer that we don't ever use.
I pulled a spoon out of the kitchen drawer to skim the top of the lead pot with, and I got in trouble for that. And it was a spoon that hadn't seen the light of day, and I don't know how long, but I still got in trouble. But sometimes it's just worth it. You know, it's more fun to get in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, and my set of pliers and stuff like that I use, and all that stuff. Or you'll see it like in the creek. I'll have it hooked on the side of my backpack, hanging off. I used to work in the ER and OR, so we'd have like tools.
Hemostats.
Yeah, the little clamps and stuff we use in the surgeries. We'd have some brand new left over that we can't package back up because we have to get rid of all of it. Everything has to go away. So I brought home a bunch of that stuff: the towels that we use, the scissors, the tweezers, the clamps, everything. So I've got all that kinds of stuff that I use for fishing because it's perfect.
Oh yeah, well, I'll tell you a funny story about that. A couple months ago, I had my little incident where I busted my head on the wall when I was trying to hurry up and get ready because I woke up late for a tournament. And Christina and I ended up at the ER at like 5 something in the morning, getting 14 stitches put right above my right eye. And we got done, and the doctor there, the nurse, after the doctor had stitched me up, the nurse come in. She's like, "Do you fish?" And I said, "Yeah, every chance I get." And she's like, "Do you want to keep these?" Because some of the guys that fish always want to keep this, and we can't reuse it. So she gave me a whole bag of stuff that they used when they stitched me up. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll take that home with me."
Yep. No, Dan, I did not steal. I was working for them, so I was allowed to take whatever I wanted.
Yeah, that's one of those things. People ain't around that. They don't know. All that stuff gets thrown out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff is. I mean, yeah, we do. They do clean. We do clean stuff. We send them to and have them process and clean. Like,
Put that
I think the temperature, I think we clean them at, it was like 400 or 500 degrees. I mean, nothing on there could ever be harmful. So,
yeah, it was neat. I know that was the first time they'd ever offered me that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. Let's see here. We'll get this turned.
And we got setting hooks and crossing eyes. We got Dan Creations in the house.
Hey, Dan. We'll get turned around here. That way I can kind of see everything. Get back in there. There we go.
I think we've got everybody on here.
Move the camera around just a little bit.
We've been jumping around from about 20 all the way up to 25 people in the house, so we're keeping it steady, keeping it going.
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely.
Dan over here saying him and Kate are snuggling. We don't want to hear that. It's PG in here. Come on, keep it PG.
Family friendly show. So.
Yeah, family friendly show. Until somebody drops a cuss word.
Dude, I've done it one time online. Out of all people, I did it to poor old Kevin on Metal Cats.
Oh.
In the last round of my last round of his first knot time competition, I slipped up behind a Palomar knot and let a word fly, and wasn't horrible, but I felt bad. You know, we all try to keep our family friendly. Where I was on somebody else's scene, we can sing it like that.
Dan says Kate is his German Shepherd.
Oh, we're good.
Ozark guys, what are you talking about? The care packages with the hemos and towels. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the stuff from the OR. I only got one set. I didn't get a whole bunch of them. I just got the hemostats, the scissors, the pliers, the towels. I'm using the towel to actually check my oil in my vehicles. Go off the old waffle.
That's awesome.
But if you want towels, speaking of towels, if I can get it down.
Oh yeah.
There's your hand towels. These are 16 by 16 hand towels.
That's out.
So they're available for purchase.
I end up with 12 by 12 that come in a 4-pack at Harbor Freight. I caught a coupon once. They had them for 50 cents a package or something, and I just bought them out. I said, eventually I'll, when they get nasty, I throw them away. I don't even try to wash those things. They ain't worth it. They'll fall apart in the washing machine. But starting to fall over here.
Yeah, Evan said he'll have those new rigs out soon. So that'll be interesting to see those.
I want to see that. That's going to be cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Ernie says that he uses a scalpel as a bait knife.
Ooh.
Yeah, those don't lose their sharpness.
No, they don't.
No. Dan, let's see. Oh yeah, Dan said a little bit ago. He said, "Where did your hair go?"
Down the drain. I tell you what, it would grow out just fine if I wanted to do that. But about 12 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, I'd been cutting my own hair for years, just with a pair of the old buzzing clippers.
Yep. I still do.
And I kept going shorter and shorter and shorter with it to where I finally just wasn't even using a guard. I was just running it down there. And one day I was like, well, if I'm doing this, I said, it ain't much more step to just take a razor to it. And I did it and I liked it. And I've been doing it the same way ever since.
See, I've been wanting to do that. I mean, I've got that receding hairline going all the way back.
Well, do it.
My wife doesn't want that hair to go away.
I don't think my wife has never seen me with hair. So I mean, other than older pictures, but she just it wasn't. Now it wasn't until last year about this time, last July. I did some stuff for work that they required me to be clean shaven for. And so we got out there. We were out of town, and then we got there and got reamed for having facial hair because evidently they'd sent out an email that we didn't get because we had been traveling. But they're like, tomorrow when you're here, you will be clean shaven, blah, blah, blah. So that was the first time since I was probably 16 or 17 years old that I didn't have something.
God.
And I was hoping, we did the video chat on Messenger. I was hoping, because Christine had never seen me without facial hair. Sure never had. I was hoping for that freak out moment from Caitlin, knowing who is this? But
yeah,
she just said, Dad, what happened to your mustache? And I said, well, I shaved it off. I said, they made me. And she's like, Dad, you tell them, if they tell you that again, you tell them no. And I went, okay. I said, I don't think it worked. We get it done. I shaved the first day, and then we were there for like 10. So I kind of shaved the rest of it and just kind of let this grow back in and just knocked it down a little bit with the clippers. So by the time we got back, it was already back.
Oh, yeah.
My dad didn't have any hair, so I do it this way. I look like him. So
let's get back into some more tackle. I know you've got plenty. Let's get into some rods and reels.
Yeah, let's grab some stuff here. Let's go.
What's up, Eric Burnside? Welcome, sir. Yeah. Yeah, in the refineries, Dan, yeah, you have to be clean shaven on day one, yep.
Yeah, they're pretty good with us over that. They'll leave us alone for the most part, but every once in a while they'll require it. But let's see, we'll get a few rods here. Now my go-to thing, everybody's got their own preference, and I still say go, everybody's going to tell you that one rod's better than the other. And I'm going to say that any of the catfish rods that are built that are dedicated catfish rod are more than capable of handling any fish that you're ever going to come across. But go with what you have confidence in, what you like. My go-to rods is the Extreme Series by Tangled with Catfish. They're the first ones that I started using. I started using them after watching Steve Douglas on his videos, and I saw the quality of catfish that he caught with them. And I said, if they work for that man, that they're good enough for me, because I don't catch anything near that. But for drifting, I like to pair those up with that's an Okuma Magda 20 series line counter reel, and they make two different ones of these. This is the DXT. This is the newer version, and the reset for the line counter is on the side. The older version, oh man, chat. Letting the riffraff in here now. The peanut gallery arrived.
Oh no, that's Chucky. Yeah, Chucky's in here now.
He talked a lot of trash the other day on the bait shop, and then got skunked in the Iron Cat the other day. But that's neither here nor there. That's for a different show. But
yeah.
No, I will say Okuma makes these Magda reels. They're about bulletproof except for the line counter. These DXTs, they moved it to the side, and that helped it out. The old ones, I've got one. Let me grab it. The reset was on the top.
Chad, if you call a big blue cat bass, then yeah.
There's one of the older ones. And like I said, they're still bulletproof reels, but the that line counter switch, there's a steel spring that's not stainless underneath it, and over time they will get that in there. They will start to stay sticking down, and you got to play with them to get them to work.
Yeah, to get them back up. Yeah.
But that spring rest up, it ain't enough to be a deal breaker on it. If I'm not taking and this rod's sitting here. If I'm not taking and drifting, if I'm working off the anchor, I don't like to cast line counter reels. I don't think it's good on that little plastic gear inside there. I may be wrong, but it just doesn't seem like something that would wear out. I'll just use a conventional reel. This is a Zebco Big Cat. They put a 350. They put out a couple years ago. I bought it. It's a decent quality reel. It didn't excite me as much as I thought it would. I prefer the Cat Maxes, and I modify those.
Abby, you might want to put a G in that email address.
Anyway, I have changed out all my Cat Max reels and put a power handle on them. And this is the Abu Garcia 6500 power handle, will fit straight up on one of the Bass Pro Shops Cat Maxes.
Oh, cool.
And no modifications necessary on it. Just unscrew the screw and the old handle, put the new one on, and you are good to go. Those things. It seems like that power handle, I didn't like them because I grew up bass fishing, and they're about pointless on a bass reel. Something where you need a little bit of finesse to it. But if you're working on something that's just pulled down and loaded up that rod, that extra little bit of that power handle, it does give you a little bit more leverage.
Partner Pursuit says nice setup. Yep, it is.
Thank you, Jerry. This one is what I use a lot of the time if I am bank fishing up around, like if I'm just going to go mess around behind a spillway or go walk a pond or something, I'll just go with the old, I got it upside down maybe. Go with old ugly.
You're good. Yep.
This old ugly stick. This is the Ugly Stick Elite. This is a 7-foot medium light spinning rod. I've got a Quantum Throttle 20 spinning reel on there. And that's, they clearance those out at our local Rural King. They knock those little Quantum reels down to $10. And yeah, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and pick these up. They're pretty good. My buddy, he bass fishes off of one of them. But this is still rigged up, just an old bluegill rig. Split shot and a old plastic bobber. That's rigged up for, we were using that for moon eye the other day. My bank fishing rods, I like spinning equipment because usually if I'm bank fishing, I'm like everybody else. I'm standing on the shore trying to cast out as I can. Where if, what do we all do? If we're in the boat, we sit in the middle of the river and we try to cast all the way to shore. Go to the bank, you try to cast the middle of the river. It's just, right or wrong is what we do. But nothing fancy at all on that. It's a Tanglewood Catfish Extreme, and I just got a Quantum Optics. I think that's a 60 series or size 60 spinning reel on there.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I'm using. I'm using the Quantum Optic 60s.
And those reels are bulletproof, and they're affordable. You can get them for anywhere from $25 to $30 for one. And I haven't had anything mess up on them yet.
Yeah.
It's spooled up with 25-pound big game.
I think I've got 30 on mine. There's Muskrat Rogers in the house. We got Kentucky Crazy is in the house, and Patriot James is in the house.
Hey, James. James Authority on Flathead. I would love to take and pick his brain one day about flathead catfish because I have caught one finally. I have literally caught one on rod and reel, and that was suspend drifting for blue cats. It was a fluke. It was a mercy fish, I guess. But James knows what he's talking about when it comes to flatheads. If I'd sit and pick his brain one day, I know I'd learn something. So I'd probably learn what I'm doing. I don't bump a whole lot, but when I do, I like these B&M staff silver cat bumping rods, and I like a low profile reel with a paddle handle to bump with. So I've got that paired with, that's an Okuma Citrix 364, 6.4 to 1 gear ratio. So, it'll pick up a little bit more line than what like 5.1 would. I've got big hands anyway, but I can palm it thing just like I would bass reel. And being able to pick up on that, it's bumping. If you've ever done that, 90% of the time your spool's disengaged and you're holding the line tension with your stop. And so it's nice to have that low profile reel and still pick up real quick. We still have it. Absolutely, Avid. Absolutely. I'm like everybody else. I like the different stuff. We've got the Muddy River rods here. That's paired up with a Penn Squall 20 level line. And I had braid on these things, but I don't know. It may just be me, but I didn't think those pins really like that braid.
Hey, Dale, welcome in.
Put 30-pound mono on it, and they seem to perform better with that one there. I about gave Chris Flores a heart attack earlier this year, late last year, something like that. I took my angle grinder and I cut up a flathead rod that had accidentally got broken in the garage and made a spooling station out of it. And I know when Chris saw the video, I think he had to call 911, and they had to come shock him. So.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that when I was looking up all the information for you, and I was setting up all the details and stuff, and I saw that one. I was like, I missed that one. I was like, oh shoot, I know Chris is gonna have a conniption fit.
Oh man, I tell you what, it hurt me to cut that rod up, but just where it was broken, it was either do something with it or it was going to end up in the trash can. It was at the point that it was just not usable, and I think it got hung up and knocked over, and the garage door got or something fell on it. It's been good enough. I was like, well, we the station at least have a piece of it.
Well, Dan, you're doing better than me. He said he finally caught a 1.5 pound blue on a minnow.
Nothing wrong with that.
You're doing better than me. Guess what? I haven't caught nothing yet.
Really?
No, I haven't caught a catfish yet.
Oh man.
Nope.
Well, they're just now starting to get back where they're biting.
Yeah.
We had a decent day Sunday, but they're hit or miss. I went Friday and didn't have a bite. Using the same bait, different thing.
Now, don't think that I haven't tried. I've tried many a times. I went twice to Linville Lake. I went to up there with Lee Evans there in Richmond on Will Green, and he caught a 5 pound on my live when we were up there, but I didn't catch anything. Then we went, me, Lee, and Sir Fins went about a month or so ago and went night fishing, and none of us caught anything. So
that sounds about like me night fishing.
Yeah. Chad's saying we're having a lot of feedback. It's probably me. Let me see if I can turn my mic down again.
Yeah, I'm doing it off my phone. I know that thing it tries to auto adjust. If I get quiet for a minute, it'll turn that volume up, and then it comes back.
All right. Hopefully this will work.
Yeah, we try to do this and that. And I tell you what, I've got for people with kids. Let me grab a rod real quick.
There's Sean with Catfish Heroes. Hey, Sampy.
I'll pull Kate rod.
There's Epic. Epic says it's because I came in with my BS signal, Chad. What's going on, Epic? Appreciate you coming in here, man.
I was watching Epic. What night was it? It was a few nights ago. He was live. I was in there for a little while, keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
We were having internet issues at the time, and so it wasn't worth trying to mess with it. We were.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those it's just time to go to bed, I guess, because the internet quit working. So, but no, for people that have kids, I tell you what, this is that. They call them a kayak rod put out by Slime Cat. They're 5'6" or 5'7", and this is a heavy action rod. I bought this thing for Caitlin because it's a 7'6" rod is just too much for that little girl, but she can actually handle this one a little bit. And I found me visit your local bait shops because most of them have. They'll either have a shelf that they have used reels on or a little glass display case or something. And these round reels that we like to use for catfishing, the bass guys don't like them anymore. So they sell these things cheap. I think I paid like $15 for this little reel.
Yeah.
It's a Mitchell, but it was made for Mitchell by Abu Garcia. I stuck a power handle on it for Caitlin, and she can handle this just fine. So it works good for her.
Yeah, Avid, yes, I did give Chad a wrench. The only reason why I gave it to him because he's been nice to me. Now I do have the power; I can take it away very easily.
You got to watch that with Chad because he'll give you wrenches and then he takes them away and puts you in timeout. It's happened to me. So
yeah, I think they were doing that to you that one day too.
Yeah,
what was it for your birthday or something?
Well, now see that was. On my birthday, that night I was asleep because I had to work that night.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they all decided to do that while I was asleep, and couldn't defend myself and put baby pictures of me and everything on there. So, they sat down and had a big laugh. And the next day when I got to watch it, I laughed. It was funny. I couldn't ask for that was my birthday present this year actually. That was my
James, I'll make you blue. I'll make you blue here in a little bit. He's saying he's not blue and he's got sad faces. Let's see if I can. I can probably do it right now. We'll see if I can pull it up real quick. I'll give you blue status. You deserve blue status.
James, absolutely.
J Dog, yeah. He said me and Kelly are tighter than two catfish in a skillet and ain't got a wrench. Well, J Dog, dude, we've been trying to get together and go fishing. We still gotta go fishing.
Those wrenches, man, those are a popular commodity anymore. That's a status symbol anymore. It's a wrench.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, though, it does help out, especially during these lives, because you never know what's going to go on in the chat room.
No.
And you're hosting. You've got enough to worry about, and you get some good moderators in the chat, and they'll take care of your chat for you. I've had them.
And that's what I was when I did it, and I set up the blue wrenches for the moderators. I looked at ones that I knew can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, they'll. I've had them come in, and I've seen some stuff come across in chat before, and before I could even say anything, I've got a moderator taking it out. We're keeping stuff family friendly or whatever. So that's you can't not have it. You've got to have it. It's sad, but it's a good thing that YouTube put that into place. So definitely.
Oh yeah.
That old boat behind me there, that thing's.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen that in some of your older videos, I think. Yeah,
that one's more trouble than it's worth most of the time. I popped a power head on it a couple years ago and put a different motor on there, and was having some issues after I moved the motor over, trying to get it running right. I've got the lower unit off of it right now, found some water in the lower unit, so it's getting all the seals replaced. And, I was just one thing after another. It comes down to, I want to stay home and fix a boat, or do I want to go fish out of the boat that does run? So what do we all do? We go fish out of the boat that does run. The mechanic's always the one that has the car that runs for it, and everything else. So kind of what we end up with on that. But I've got I yanked the lower unit the other day. I had a couple weeks off. Decided to try to take advantage of the setup that was backing up. I'd like to get that boat back up out on the water. That thing's awesome in rough water.
Hey D.
Oh, that's the good fields there.
Oh, J Dog just sent me a picture of a pontoon.
Christina,
he said, if I had a wrench, you could fish on this. Well, guess what, J Dog? You got a wrench now, so guess what? We are going to go fishing on that bad boy.
Christina wanted one for a while. I think I've got her talked out of it. So
I've been dying to get a boat, but there's been so much things coming up financial wise. It's been a nightmare.
I've got a couple I wish somebody'd take off my hands, but
I'll take it off, but may not be no money.
There's a 16-foot V-hull John boat.
Ooh,
that I would give to somebody. I mean, it needs work, but I would give it to somebody if they wanted it.
Hey, if you ever come down this way, bring it with you.
Now, how far are you from me? I forget where you're at.
I'm 3 hours south of Louisville.
Okay, so you're about probably 5-6 hours from me then, round about. Yeah. It takes us about 3 to get to Louisville. So
yeah, I'm 3 hours south of Louisville.
But I bought that 16-foot V hull, and it needed
I'll drive all the way up to Louisville to get a boat. I drove all the way up to Louisville to get a car.
It needed transom put in it. What happened was some dude bought it, ripped all the John boat pieces out of it, and was going to try to make him a little bass tracker out of it. And he lost interest and let it sit, and finally sold it. And I bought it because I had a truck with a long bed, and if I folded the tailgate down, I was 10 foot, so it was nothing to throw a 16-foot John boat in the back. And then I changed trucks, and we had a 6-foot bed, and no, you're not hauling a 16-foot boat on the 8 foot of truck bed. So
yeah.
Of course, right now
I got the truck to pull it now. So
right now,
I 2015 F350.
Yeah, that pulled around. Yeah, I showed you my truck before we went live today.
Yeah.
My handiwork that I did to it. So.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be truck shopping for too long. That's like it or not. I hated it, but can't control some of that stuff. So. We can't ride.
Yeah, one of these days we'll get with you.
Oh yeah, we make that happen. That thing ain't going nowhere. I moved it to the backyard instead of the front, so that it didn't look quite so bad here. But
yeah. Oh yeah, I've had ideas. I was thinking about taking a John boat and turning it into a bass boat, anyways. But still, I could use it for catfishing, anyways.
Oh no, it'd be one that it's all stripped out on the inside, and I started whatever he painted it with. I think he went and bought latex interior paint or something, and rolled it, and it looked like bark on the tree. It was just all flaking off. So I was taking a sander to it and knocking that off. I was going to give it a rattle can job and just do something with it. A little 14-foot John boat were cheap back in the winter, so I said we'll just go with that because it's got a trailer and I don't have to mess with it. So that little thing, that was that Project Drift Stock. We'll walk over there real quick.
Okay, yeah, I remember you talking about that in the videos on that one.
Yeah, it's done now. We've got I've got one video that just needs edited on it. Let's get the camera turned around. We'll walk through that thing real quick. All right, there we go. Hold up. Ended up going with a Motor Guide XI3 trolling motor on it. It's all wireless, works off the remote. And this little 12-volt trolling motor. Threw me a cheap Walmart seat on there.
Yeah.
I was going to take that plywood out, but I think I kind of like it, and the boat goes fast enough with it in there, so I leave it alone. Wired this thing up. I caught that little switch panel on sale at Gander one day for like $11 when we come back from Mendota, so picked it up, and it all works for the anchor light, running lights, all that. Built me a bracket for the stern light because I took up the stern light spot with a rod holder base. We were talking earlier about that champion boat belonging to my grandpa. When I first bought my first boat, and that's probably 19, 20 years old. He had that Johnson motor sitting in the shed and hadn't been used for years, and he gave me that thing. So I've kept it in running condition. It's another one of those things that I'll just keep it forever. But it started life as a 9.9, but these older Johnsons, you could swap the carburetor on it and make them a 15. And we got that thing done. Put a transducer. It's got Humminbird side imaging back here on the back of the John boat. And this little thing does pretty good. I took it off into some of the skinnier water. And, got up, caught some bluegill and stuff in it. Not a bad little boat by any means, especially for the.
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not.
There's that thing. That's how long that thing's been sitting. It's been. It needs a bath. Everything else. Let's see here. Get back to. The only thing I wish there was an easier way to change the camera position on your phone on screen.
Oh yeah.
Jump into that thing. But, that pretty well.
Epic.
What's Epic up to now?
He's leaving. He said later.
I see you, buddy. Good to see you. Well, Ernie Brown's fishing the pool party this weekend. Him and his wife Chrissy.
Yep. Yeah, I was in there on the live. We're sitting there talking. I was hearing you all talk about everybody that was going to be in there. Sounds like you got a big group.
We got a good crew. Unfortunately, as it stands right now, we have one open spot now. Unfortunately, Norm from Catfish Headhunters, he had to drop out due to work obligations today. So anybody that anybody that's interested, I know it's last minute, but if somebody wanted to fish the pool party, I've got one open spot left. That be happy to put somebody in. Just somebody that wants to fish the Ohio River that day. But now we're going to be going live tomorrow at 7 o'clock, which I found out this afternoon. I hadn't even thought about it. I'd seen it. I didn't think of it. Evidently, Catfish Conference is also going to be live at the same time, talking about Catfish Conference West. But we're going to go live for about an hour or so, depending. The competitors from this Saturday's tournament are going to be able to jump in there and go talk about any strategy they may have, their game plan, their do a little smack talking, I'm sure, and just kind of have a good time. And that's going to let people that might not be familiar with some of the competitors meet the competitors before Saturday and kind of figure out who they're going to cheer for. I hope they all cheer for me, but it doesn't always happen that way. But
Abby asks, can we fish from the bank?
Absolutely. I told somebody the other day that you can fish from the bank, you can fish from a boat, the kayak. If somebody wanted to charter a helicopter, as long as the bait is landing in the Ohio River, I highly encourage. I would love to have a helicopter angler because that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun to watch. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it would happen, but that would be cool. Anyone wants to? The dog will be loose. That's right.
The dog will be loose.
Yep, J-Dog jumped in. I was glad to see him in there. It's going to be great.
Roger says that we will be there if we make it back to Ohio by Saturday.
Yeah, I know. Roger's constrained for time though. There ain't no kidding there. My wife's back in the driveway now. She just got back home. She got the little one with her.
J-Dog says he's going to smack talk like a catch nothing.
Oh, but he quit screaming? Who knows? He likes to yell. He filled in.
Yeah, J-Dog said he's going to smack talk like a mother and catch nothing.
Hey, you know what? That tends to be what happens whether I smack talk or not, so I might as well smack talk. It's more.
Ernie says he goes, I'm going to cook. I'm cooking to get J-Dog off his game.
Oh,
I wish I lived closer. I honestly do.
Yeah, I tell you what, we had.
I really do. I wish I lived just on this side of the Ohio River, still in Kentucky, but able to cross and go fishing with everybody that's up there.
I tell you what, we had old Jerry from Parker Pursuits all fired up Saturday. It was great. He Rob there from Moat Creek Fishing.
Yeah.
We had dinner with him while we were over in Missouri Saturday, and Rob told Jerry that the guy that he's fishing with this Saturday would not allow chicken on his boat at all. He was anti-chicken, and he had Jerry so fired up. He started blowing my phone up, and I played it up for a little while, and I actually felt bad, so I had to back off and tell him, no, we're just messing with you. I had never seen somebody get so fired up over bait as Jerry Parker. And it was I literally started to feel bad about how fired up we had him. I knew I couldn't let him cook on that all week long. So. He asked me, he said, well, what if I kept it down in my bag, and when we're out there on the water, I just kind of slipped out a little bag of chicken and baited a hook. I said, well, if he catches you, he's gonna probably put you off on the shore and make you walk back.
Yeah.
And
are you going to Muskrat's thing on the 27th?
I am going to try. I don't know if we'll be able to swing that one or not, but we're definitely going to give it a good shot. And if there's probably the good chance if I do get to make it out there, I'll probably be by myself. I don't know if that would be one, but
because that's not a far drive for you, is it?
It's about 5.5 for me.
Is it? Oh gosh, I'm closer. I'm closer then. It's only like 3 3.5, 4 hours for me.
Oh yeah, it's a Google Maps is showing it like 5 hours and 46 minutes for me, so it's a little bit of a drive. And,
Yeah.
That's way too long with the newborn for sure. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd probably be deaf by the time we got there.
I'm trying to get the wife talked in. Just taking a trip up there for the weekend.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I figured I'm like, if I went over that way, I'd probably end up staying the night. There ain't no sense in trying to drive back after all that. But,
especially because they're gonna be night fishing anyways.
Oh yeah, throw a tent up, sleep all the next day, and then drive home or something.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I'd like to do it. I don't know that it's. I really don't know that it's feasible. But
yeah,
if we can make it, we're gonna do it.
With my work, you never know if I've got to work a long Saturday or what, or a long Friday or what's going on. So, because most Fridays I don't get done until about 5.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be a little bit of a trip too.
Yeah, because I'd have to rush and get done, pack up home, pack up, take off real quick.
Yeah, that'd be get going in a hurry.
Or just leave out early Saturday morning.
Yeah, because what's up? You get started like 5 o'clock on Saturday or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I was looking it over, trying to find a way to make it work there. I know. Trying to think of what day it's. I think it's the next week that 3+1's having their kids tournament. Caitlin's fishing that, so I know we.
Yeah.
She did.
That's on the 31st, isn't it?
30th or 31st. I'd have to look again, but.
Yeah, they're having that kids tournament. I think it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be great. I tell you what, she had a blast. Roger just had that one, and she and I had a real good time. I wish she could have got more fish. She ended up taking a big skunk that day, but she hooked one, got her all the way to the boat, and fell off right there at the net. But I think she had a good time. We sat on the boat and ate sandwiches and ate popsicles that we used for. I just threw a bunch of frozen popsicles in the cooler for instead of throwing ice in there. And then when we wanted something, we just pull a popsicle out.
Yeah, Muskrat said the 31st.
31st, okay.
Yeah.
I knew.
Becky's got a question for you. He says, "What's the biggest fish you caught?"
My biggest fish I caught is I caught it just past December, a 48 1/4, 48, almost 49 pound blue. Channel cat, my biggest one, around 22 pounds. And my biggest rod and reel flathead was just shy of 10 pounds. I caught it back in October. I've caught a bigger one before on a trot line, but, don't really count that. It was, and it wasn't huge. It was 20 and just shy of 21, if I remember right. I think I was about 12 years old, and Grandpa built a trot line. He said, "Hey, we're going to go put this thing out in the river and catch big catfish." And I said, "All right, let's go do it." So we went down and put that out, went and ran it a couple of days, and then pulled it out of the water. He was responsible with it. He didn't leave them there to go. He was checking it every day and everything else. But we caught us a few fish. Caught a big old carp on that trot line. How that thing bit on there is beyond me. But we caught a big old carp and a pretty nice sized flathead, and we had something on there. Straighten a couple of these little hooks out, and so we probably had some fish on there. But
Becky, you think that's a big blue catfish? You need to go check out Dan from Green Machine Outdoors and his Dock Demon challenge from my channel.
Yeah, how big was that? That was
60.4 pound blue catfish on a 2-foot rod, basically.
Yeah, I've got it. Here we go. It was on one of these.
Yep, Dock Runner.
Yep, old Dock
and
Runner.
If you put your finger about I want to say from that top of that, from there, probably just a little bit more up above that. That's where it broke off.
Probably, I think it broke off right there where it starts to neck down, I think.
Yeah, it broke off right there, and he still pulled it in. Just on the reel.
That is awesome. I was wanting to do that so badly, and I
knew you were. I was waiting for your video. I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna have an awesome day. He's gonna catch some good ones." And I never saw it. I was like, man.
I went out and picked up a dock runner, and I spooled it up with 30-pound braid, and I said, "Oh, we're going to be all set." And then about that time, Junior was going to be due to be here any minute, so my fishing expeditions went to nothing there for about 3 weeks.
And I understand. Family. We always talk about family comes first, anyways.
You know, family has to come first. You know, no matter what you're talking about. So, you know, if you die tomorrow, your job's gonna, wherever you work, I don't care where it's at, they're gonna have your job filled by the time the end of the day. And family's all you got. You gotta be with them. But
Chad says I want to catch a weekend angler with a dock demon.
And Chad gonna catch a weekend angler, and he ain't gonna like it. He's gonna know he got it.
Be careful, Chad. I can always take your blue wrench away. Be nice.
I want to see him catch a fish Saturday, though. I mean, we keep getting all this smack talk, and he wants to tease me about my netting skills, and I haven't even got to see his. So.
Yeah, Becky, I think a lot of them have done fish fries. I know Avid's done some cooking ones where he's cooked up some stuff. There's a lot of them that's done little videos on that stuff, definitely. But Muskrat said that he has 3+1 on his show tonight.
Oh, cool. I'll have to. That's starting about 10 minutes from now. I'll have to buzz over there and check that one out. I forgot how early you started, and I had just walked home when you video called. I'm glad you did, because I was thinking it was 6 instead of 5, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. See, a lot of people don't realize that I'm in a different time zone than most people are.
Yeah,
I'm sitting out here in this little eastern part of Kentucky. Where I got that little eastern time, and everybody else is off.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking you were still in Central, and I'm like, okay, well I got another hour. And when you called, I still have my work shirt on. I'm like, I got to get that off. I can't have that on.
I'm still in everything I wear for work anyway. So.
Yeah, they'd get on to me if I had mine on. So I take it off.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. Here in about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, definitely jump over onto Muskrat Adventures. He's gonna have 3+1 on there. They're gonna talk about the kids tournament coming up on July 31st. I think all slots are already full. I don't think they have anybody that's available time slot, but it's going to be on your own channel, or they can stream it through their channel. So it's going to be interesting. We already had one through Muskrat, and it was awesome. 2 weekends of it, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, I tell you what, I loved watching those kids catch fish, man. That's what it's all about. And that's something.
Oh yeah, and we had some that caught their very first fish.
Oh, and Gabby catching all those turtles. I just kept laughing on that. We were sitting there that second weekend.
Yeah, I know.
That second weekend.
I thought it was fun.
We were actually in the hospital. We just had John had just been born the day before, so I was sitting there holding him and trying to talk Roger into an open spot that I could get him in there. At 1 day old, I'm like, I'm looking at my son, telling him, "We'll sneak out of this hospital. We'll go catch you a fish." And of course, he doesn't like what I'm saying, but worth a shot. And, I don't think you can do that anymore, though. They put a bracelet on the kids when they're born, and you know all about that, I'm sure. Where you get too close to the door, that thing goes crazy.
Yeah. J-Dog, if you're gonna quote Hulk Hogan, at least try to quote him correctly. He's over here trash talking Hollywood Hulk Hogan, saying that what are you gonna do if Chad and J-Dog run wild on you this weekend? Oh my gosh, that's some of the saddest trash talking I've ever seen.
Man.
Parker and Jerry's on there saying that J-Dog is on like Donkey Kong. Oh my gosh. My chat's gone nuts.
J-Dog's gonna find out the weekend only 316.
Mo Creeks in here says it ain't gonna happen, Kelly.
Hey, I got my secret weapon. I got Rob in the boat.
There you go. There you go. But before we leave out, everybody, give y'all a little closer look at all this stuff. If y'all want them, just hit me up on the email. We got stickers up for sale. We've got shirts. They got that holographic coloring to them, so they'll change
Well, that
a
looks
little bit
good.
on you. And then we've got the terry cloth hand towels, 16 by 16. So just hit me up an email if you're all wanting some of those. I'll send you the details on that stuff. But Josh, just appreciate you coming on here.
Hey, it's an honor to be on here. I appreciate you having me on here. Definitely had a blast tonight, but it's good to see you. Good talk to you.
I know. It's been an honor. We pretty much fished the same kind of style of fishing, so I mean it was needed to be you to be on here so we could talk both. So and like you said, you gave me some ideas and I gave you some ideas, so that's pretty much what this is for. I mean, but
we're gonna have to make the drive at some point and get together and do some fishing in the boat or something. So
absolutely. Before you leave, I know I ask everybody this. What is your advice on if somebody's trying to get into catfishing? What is your advice to them on when it comes to tackle?
Do what you feel comfortable with. Guys, I can't stress enough. I tell everybody that'll listen to this, and probably some of them, every catfish rod on the market today that's dedicated catfish rod, it's tangling with catfish, your slime cats, big cat fever, everything. And I name every one of those brands. They are all more than capable of handling any fish that you're ever going to throw. Guys, it's use what you feel comfortable with, what you have confidence in. Confidence is going to get you fish every time. Yeah. You're going to put more fish in the boat on that. Get out there. You don't have to go all fancy. Catfishing's great. We can put a big chunk of lead on our line, put a big circle hook on there, and bait it with fresh bait. Fresh bait is going to get you more fish than any other kind of doodad or whatever that you want to put on the line. It's fresh bait. You learn to throw a cast in it and start cutting some fish. You're going to put fish in it every time.
Oh, yeah. But appreciate y'all coming in here, hitting the thumbs up, sharing it out. Appreciate y'all giving the support to Josh the Weekend Angler for coming in here, giving his time, especially away from his little newborn baby. So
we're going to go over sun time here in a second. So
yeah, oh no, you'll make up for it. You'll make up for it here in a little bit. But I appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all definitely jump over to Roger Muskrat Adventures and check out him and 3+1, Larry and Amy and Cody. I think all three of them will be in there. So definitely hit them up. So stick around a little bit, Josh. We'll talk just a little bit after we get off here. But appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all take care. Make sure you get out there and fish and just have some fun. I mean, that's all it's about. Just having fun. So we'll check you out. Probably live on Thursday in the creek with Mark from Catfish and Crappie as special co-host.
Oh, cool.
So we'll see you on Thursday. So check y'all later.
Take care,
Peace.
guys.